Hi, friends. Happy Saturday. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. I am your tarot fairy godmother, and we are here for the Saturday Psychic Sampler. This is when you ask specific questions, and I will give you a specific answer. I want to especially welcome all of our new channel members. For those of you who have become members of the channel, I thank you so much. And I do want to remind you that you have badges and special emoji that you can use. And so do that. We really do appreciate it when you do. It shows your support of the channel, and it's also kind of fun. All right. So what else? I want to remind you that tomorrow we have a special event, a free class on the Lenormand cards. If you use them, if you don't use them, if you know about them, if you don't know about them, doesn't matter. It's a free class. Come and learn. Being taught by Brenda Elizabeth, Lady Lenormand herself. It is a 90-minute class. It's free for everybody, and it is right here on this channel tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're really looking forward to that. Okay, so I am, again, very grateful that you're all here. We're going to get right to it. We are looking for specific questions only. So that's not what does Spirit want me to know or any of those. What do I need to know today? Those are all great questions. But on Saturdays, we want the juice. We want the tea. We want your specific questions, and I will do my best to give you great specific answers. So thank you all so much for being here. Let's get going. The first question I see is from Santiago. So glad that you're here. I would like to know what gift I have and should take advantage of. What a great question. You know, it's a few things. You, first of all, have the gift of extreme survival. You are a person who has gone through a lot and who can go through a lot and come out on top. You need to know that you have an extreme tolerance, an extreme sense of survival and overcoming. You are good at overcoming stuff. So whatever you've been through, you can come out on top. Whatever you're going through, you can come out on top. And I also think along with that, you have a lot of empathy for the pain of others. Now, both of these things can help you or hurt you. Your empathy for the pain of others can cause you to do more for others than you will for yourself. And it allows others an opportunity to manipulate you. Your tolerance, in a way, does the same. Just because you can tolerate a situation doesn't always mean you should. All right. Okay, similar question from Mystics Haven. I would also like some insight in discovering what gift I have. Fair enough. Okay. So, for you, what shows up here? Tenacity and creativity. You are an extremely creative person. You can take one thing and easily turn it into another. And I think you actually have some artistic talent as well. Tenacity, the ability to stick to something. That's a good thing, except when it's not. Sometimes you stick to things that you probably shouldn't. Okay. Lisa G., nice to see you. What is the best direction to take financially? I have Social Security disability, but it isn't enough. And my physical disabilities are very limiting, so I'm stuck in finding work. I understand how difficult that is. So let's take a look. What should you do? So obviously, disability does allow you some option to make some money, and you want to make as much money as you're allowed to make without skewing off your disability, right? But the problem is finding work that you can do becomes difficult. The thing is, there are some things that you're good at and that you can do. And I wonder about things specifically in the spiritual realm. I wonder if you have any experience doing readings or any interest in doing readings. I feel like you are a very intuitive person and you may have some knowledge or experience thereof. So I wonder if your abilities, both psychically and physically, might allow you to work a psychic phone line or something of that nature. So I think there are things you can do, and I think you can find a way to make that money that'll make the difference for you and will still allow you to be able to get the disability that you need. So that's what I have to say. All right. Marianne, nice to see you. I'd love to know if my meeting on Tuesday will go ahead and if there's anything I should be aware of. Okay, so do we think the meeting on Tuesday will indeed happen? I believe it is likely to happen as planned. What should you be aware of as regards this? You know, there's a very specific agenda for this meeting, and I don't know if it's yours or someone else's or if you're all on the same page, but I would remember that less is more. Do not volunteer information that is not necessary. Less is more. That's the important thing. All right. Nice to see y'all here. Peggy Lou, Kim, Chriswell, glad you're here. Okay, Peggy Lou, here's a question from you. What can I do to get along better with Nit, Wit, and Twit? I live with Nit. Witless is my ex-husband who lives on the property, and Twit was the brother-in-law. So 3 people that you live with or near that are difficult. So the one you live with, actually live with and choose to be with, there is a long and difficult history of poor and not nice communication between the two of you, also lack of trust. I think you need to look at these things separately, right? The current relationship, there needs to be a lot done to have better boundaries and better communication. The relationship with sort of your ex-family members that are still there, that's a different thing. I think that with them, you just have to know who they are and avoid them as much as possible because we know they're not trustworthy, right? And they have an agenda with you, but you have an agenda with them too. So I feel like you got to separate them out. I think putting them in one bucket of weird people on your property is not helpful because you have an actual relationship with one. The others, really, it's just by virtue of history and proximity. And so it's a different energy. And so separating that out, I think, will be helpful. Okay, P wants to know how you can become a member. So you should see, depending on what country you're in and what device you're using, you're going to see it differently. But you might see a word or a button that says join right next to the subscribe button. You need to have a Google account. You need to be signed into it. You also might see in the tabs, you might see a membership tab. There are 3 different levels of membership. Use the one that is right for you. Each comes with its own set of perks. And of course, you can cancel at any time. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, of course, it's free to subscribe. And we have a huge amount of free programming, and that is not going to change. Members get extra stuff. And I really appreciate that because it helps to keep this going. But you also help by liking this video, by subscribing, by sharing links. All of that stuff is appreciated as well. Okay. Good morning, Nicole, Angelic Michelle, Baby Cakes, happy to see you. Lisa McCord in St. Louis, what are you doing there? Okay. Angelic Michelle, ask your question, please. Martha, glad to see you. Okay, Chriswell, here we go. I've made a decision that will impact everyone in my life following StarCon 2022. I feel it's right, but what do the cards say? And I won't say what that decision is. Okay, fair enough. I feel like I can say a couple of things. A, it feels like the kind of decision that's sort of irrevocable. And so once you do it, you do it. And so you want to be clear about it. And the other thing is, whatever it is, make sure that it is not based solely on emotion. It has to be based on other things as well. And I would also want to say that meditation and clear spiritual direction should be involved in this. All right. Lisa McCord just met someone new. Is this a good match? Well, I know the two of you are really liking each other and enjoying each other, and that seems like a lot of fun. I feel like you are in the phase right now of getting to know each other. And so right now it is delicious. Don't buy the wedding dress yet. Remember that trust is earned. And it's been a long time since you've really felt someone you have this kind of connection with. And so immediately, I think both of you are kind of going to this place of, oh my gosh, this could be it. And you know what? It could be. It really could be. But it is too soon to tell for sure. Enjoy the process. Remember that in any relationship, the first 6 months don't count. Let's give it some time. But I do have to say there's a lot about it that at least right now does feel promising. Worth your time, worth the exploration, and certainly enjoyable. So that's awesome. Okay, Lucia, would love to know what gifts are serving me the highest good. Okay, very good. Lucia, I think you have a wonderful gift of leadership, whether that's about teaching others, about helping others, about being an example to others. I also think along with that, you have a lot of compassion. So I feel like your ability to lead, to teach, to be compassionate in those ways, to teach compassion, that's what shows up to me. Angelic Michelle, here's your question. I would like to know if an offer for me to go live on a ranch with possible romance is a good choice. Let's take a look and see what we see. The thing is, I feel like once you do it, it's hard to come back from it. And so I would be really, really careful, especially because there seems to be like an agenda here. I've used the word agenda a lot today. It feels like a lot of people's questions have to do with the idea that there are other people around them that have a very specific agenda that the questioner may not be aware of. I think that's true in your case, Michelle, but I think it's been true in a few other people's cases as well. So we all need to be on the lookout for the idea that we can't always know the agenda of the people around us, and that their agenda may be different than ours. That is universal for all of us, and it does show up here for you, Michelle. It feels like this feels like a very thorny thing. If you go live on the ranch, I'm afraid you give up a lot of power, and I'm afraid that the romance as part of this is like expected. So it's not like I think you could do one without the other. And I just don't know if you know enough about the situation here. I would take things very slowly and carefully. And I would not let some need within you cause you to do it more quickly than you should. Okay, Nalini, I would like to know if I'll be moving into my new home soon. And the answer is it depends what you mean by soon. I definitely think it's coming up within the next few months. And I do see it as a good thing, but I feel like there's some things that have to fall into place first. Okay. Joanne, Charlie wants to know if maybe he needs to change his plans. At least modify them. I don't know if change them, but they may need to be modified somewhat. But even if they're modified, the things that he is planning, I think ultimately can still take place. There is going to be a lot of improvement here. It'll take a little time, but it is coming, just so you know. Kim, did I handle my communication well with my business partner this week? I think you did a very good job, especially for you, because these kinds of communications are hard for you. The problem is your business partner they only really hear what they want to hear. And they only really see things the way they want to see things. So you can think that you're being really, really clear, but from your partner's perspective, they might not have the same takeaway that you think they should. So it's a difficult situation. Martha, are my relationship struggles because of my depression and anxiety or because of the relationship itself? Why not both? Honestly, I think it's both. I think there are some things that have not been sorted out or made clear within the relationship. And so there are questions within the relationship, and those questions cause you to feel depressed and anxious in a way that makes things worse. And so I feel like, you do need to do things to get a handle on the depression and anxiety, and you do need to look at what needs to be communicated or discovered or figured out within the relationship as well. Baby cakes, is there a way to communicate with my spirit guides? Well, they're communicating with you. You're just not listening. I would say absolutely yes. And I don't know if you're artistic or creative or whatever, but I would think like automatic writing or drawing or painting and letting them come through you that way would be very, very effective. I also think just asking them to come through in your dreams and then paying attention to what you see in your dreams would also be effective. Okay, P. Will I see the person again I have on my mind, and how will the encounter go? I think that you will indeed see each other again, but the encounter may not, well, I think you have to be careful about your expectations. I mean, it's not going to be bad at all, but I think you have particular expectations that may or may not manifest. And so, yes, you will see each other again, but it may not be everything that you think it might be. Okay, super EHOY. How do I pronounce that? I'm not even sure, but I'm happy to see you here. I know this is already asked, but I have no idea what my gifts are. My energy is all over the place. What are my gifts and what can I do to strengthen them? Very good question. That seems to be the question of the day for a lot of people today. For you, you have creativity, organization, which is funny because you say like your energy is all over the place, but you're actually good at coming up with a plan in an organized way and executing it. The reason your energy is all over the place is you're really not sure what you want to do. You're creative, like you have so many gifts and you have so many interests, you really are all over the place. And so do not think that you have to just pick one thing for your life and stick with it. You may be a person like when they say, do one thing and do one thing well, that's not for you. You need to do a lot of things and do a lot of things well. And you may be a person who has many projects running concurrently. And you may be a person who's interested in a lot of different things. You're spiritual, you're creative, you like to make things happen. And I think you can do all of those things. And I think you're really hard on yourself. And the reason you're hard on yourself is you are trying to do what people do when they have less energy than you. You need to not dampen what you have, you need to expand it. I hope that helps. Donna, you're being funny. Style and Chica, I'm liking this question about gifts. Will my spiritual abilities I had as a child return soon? They never went away. It's just as your body changed and your mind changed and everything changed, you forgot, just like we forget a lot of things, right? They didn't go away. You just have to remember the way in. And really, the way in may be about getting into nature, being playful, and honoring your inner child. Okay, Jane. I've been unable to cut cords with someone who I'm not in contact with, who was a complicated situation with me in 2018. Why is this energy so strong? I don't think it's really about a strong energy between the two of you. I think it's about how you have processed it. There is something, well, there's a couple things. Okay, first of all, there is something about this person that is similar or familiar with someone else from your past, someone from your family, or some other situation from your past. And that allowed this person to really get under your skin, number one. Number two, I think you told yourself some stories about who this person is and what this situation was. And I think you told stories that were a lot better than what the real truth is. I also think this person shows up in a really bad way to me. I don't think this person is a very honest or decent person. And I'm not sure you have entirely wrapped your brain around just how bad this person really is and can be. And so I think it's all of that. And I think there's a whole story here too about what you have tolerated in your past and what you have tolerated in your past and been told that it's okay and that you should tolerate those things. And so there's a lot here about your own growth that emanates from this situation, but is about a lot more than this situation. Okay. Donna, will my settlement give me enough to move? Yes. But then the question is, move where? What an interesting thing. I know that you haven't really been thrilled with Florida. So the idea of going somewhere else or maybe even going to a different part of Florida might make sense. But where? That's a really tough thing. When we look at what should help you decide this, I think a lot of it needs to be very practical. Where the weather will be best for you, where the climate, and when I say climate, I mean not just the weather, but sort of the energy of the people and the way things are, will be best for you. I don't think you should go based on particular family or friends, but really on where the energy is best for you. Okay. Prasidi Mishra, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Will I start working with my friend professionally this year? Maybe I could join his business or start something new. I think something there. Yeah, I think that something there could happen. I think this person is open to that conversation. Okay, and thank you all so much for the feedback. I really do appreciate it. Okay, Ancient Voices. What is my next best step for my new venture? Ooh, the magical piece of it. Whatever the venture is, either magical or mundane, You are a magical person and you must do magic around the launch. Remember that everything you do here will have practical business steps, but also behind the scenes energetic steps to push it forward. And don't forget the magic. Christina Reed, oh no, I had an anxiety attack at work this week due to some PTSD. I am so sorry. How can I continue to heal so I don't get re-traumatized every time I hear a fire alarm go off? Oh man, that is so hard. You know, you may need to seek a specific healing modality. I wonder if like EMDR might be helpful for you or something of that nature. I think you really need to seek professional help. No, seriously. You need to seek something that specifically works for PTSD. And I don't know why, but I'm really thinking EMDR might be very, very helpful for you. Because you know what? Beyond that, there's a lot going really well in your life. Nicole, where can I find the direction I need to be able to better decide on the choices and decisions I need to make on different things right now? I'm in a bit of a confused place. At the end of the day, it's about loving and trusting yourself, which is something that you have a really hard time doing. It's about self-esteem, honestly. Okay, Iva Morris, you must do specific questions today. That's what Saturday's all about. It is the Saturday Psychic Sampler, specific questions only. So come up with a specific question. Okay. I normally will only do one question per person, but I wanted to give Iva a chance to get a question in and anyone else. We are coming to the end of our time together. And so if I accidentally missed your question, I'm sorry, please reiterate. If you haven't asked a question, please do. I will go ahead and take care of Jane's second question. I'd also love to know what is blocking me from experiencing more of my psychic abilities, as I've been working on developing those. Beliefs, expectations, you think it's one way, so you're looking for one thing, but it's really something else. I really feel like a lot of this is based on your own beliefs about what you think it should be, and so you miss what it really is. I think that happens for a lot of people. So, I want to remind you that I am available for readings and mentorship by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom. All you have to do is go to my website, tarotbychristiana.com. And what can you do there? You can find information to contact me directly. You can make an appointment directly there. You can read my blogs. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can see upcoming events. We'll be getting the May events up really soon. And for those of you who would like to see me in person, I will be opening my doors to in-person readings in the Palm City area in Florida, June 4th. I will be in Connecticut in May. I will be in the Tampa Bay area in June. And I will be speaking at the Tarot Masters Conference with Mary Kay Greer and Rachel Pollack in July at Omega. Omega Institute is opening in New York in July, and we will be there. And then after that, I'll be in Connecticut for another 2 weeks. So there's a lot of opportunity. And of course, I'm always available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom. Today, tomorrow, you name it, we'll do it. Okay. Let's see. Jay, things are feeling up and down. What can I do to feel settled? And the answer is no. Don't feel settled. Use this energy. The ancestors are trying to work with you. Things are unsettled because you're growing. Things are unsettled because you're moving into something new. And so welcome this because it's about expansion and growth. That's the thing. That's the thing. All right. Okay, Chriswell, soon after June 4th, Mark and I will be coming to the office. I will absolutely appreciate that. All right, friends, I'm still waiting for a question from Iva here. Here it is. Yay. Thank you, Iva. What is the most important thing for me to focus on in the coming week? Okay. Deciding a couple things. Pick and choose your battles. What's the biggest priority? Number 2, who are your allies and who aren't? And how can you work better with your allies? Number 3, in your personal life to really enjoy your friends and family members. That's what's most important. Friends, I want to thank you all. Again, for those of you who have become members, I really appreciate you. Use those badges, use those emojis. We want to see them. I want to see all of you tomorrow at the Lenormand class. I think it's going to be great. And we're using some new technology. Well, when I say new technology, I don't mean it was just invented. I mean new to me. So come and see if I can handle the new technology. Remember the community tab on this channel. For members, there are special posts that only you can see, and some at different levels too. And there'll be more and more of those coming. And for everybody, there are posts. We can have conversation, we can learn, we can share. So our community together continues even when we're not here with each other. So please do, whether you're a subscriber, whether you're a member at whatever level, go to the community tab, see what's there for you, and please do participate there as well. I want to thank you so very much. I'll look forward to seeing you all soon.